Michael.
This is Pablo.
And it's eTrend, giving our take on digital marketing and e-commerce for what's actually working in today's digital landscape. Today we have a question. I've peaked my Amazon business. What channel should I go to next? And they are selling what appears to be pet supplies. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them. You can email us at michael@eTrend or pablo@eTrend, or you can submit a question on our YouTube channel. What's going on, Pablo?
What's up, Mikey? How's it going?
Going, tired, long day, but excited to answer this question. I think that we have some good insights hopefully to share, and I'm curious to hear where you're going to go. I know you're a big Amazon guy. And
it's a great question because it's probably the case for a lot of sellers, right? There's a lot of people that are involved in e-commerce, and I guess when you think of an e-commerce business, you always think of somebody that, or a company that owns websites, but there are businesses that are solely built on top of Amazon. And as you may or may not know, if you do have had a business on a third-party platform, of course, it's not that hard to plateau. And it's also really challenging because you are at the mercy of that platform. So it's super interesting. I think a lot of people are probably in the same position. But yeah, let's get to it. What are your thoughts? So the business has peaked on Amazon. Where do you go from there?
So again, when I hear questions like this from my side, there's a lot of technical aspects that I start thinking about as far as what direction to go. I guess the first question is, if they've peaked on Amazon, is it just Amazon US? How are they fulfilling by merchant? Is it FBA? What's the fulfillment like? Because Amazon, while most people refer to it just as, thinking for the US, what about other markets, which is a whole separate process? I'd certainly explore other marketplaces like eBay or some sort of industry niche specifically to continue to scale. Chances are they already have logistics and the support to process orders and to offer support to customers that are buying on Amazon. So adding another marketplace in there shouldn't be so much of a challenge. For me, I think the next option would be Google, just because you have such a vast product offering from Google between shopping and their new product placements, that I think that there's a lot of work and optimization to go for. Obviously, that's people who are much lower on the funnel, ideally, but it's also a great way to introduce your brand to more people. What I do like about starting with Amazon is the SEO value and the rankings that you get from Amazon. When someone starts to look for similar products and they do a little research and they see that maybe they're going into Google looking for something, and then they do more research about the specific product. Say it's a pet treat and they don't know exactly what they want. They Google it, they Google your brand. While your ads might show up, chances are your Amazon listings are going to show up. And I think that adds credibility, helping with your conversion. What are your takes?
So I don't like to hear that anybody has peaked just because of the monster that Amazon is. I think there's a lot you could do on the platform. So I'll start with, there's a lot of different ways to advertise now on Amazon.com. I mean, you have campaigns so you can set up as sponsored products, sponsored brands. You could do sponsored display. One thing I would also recommend, I think once you've hit a peak with your products, and again, we don't have all the details on this specific business, I think bundling is a great way to really scale listings and scale a business that way. It really helps. Again, we don't have the details of what this specific business is doing. The other thing I would focus on Amazon.com is, again, you've said it, I would look into expanding different marketplaces in different markets within Amazon. And the fulfillment is a big difference maker for sure. I know that, of course, when you do FBA, it really does change the dynamics of the business when you sell on Amazon. So I think when somebody peaks, they have to really be sure that they have hit a peak and that they're exhausting every resource there is on Amazon. Once you have really reach that peak on Amazon, I would probably move on to probably what I think is the more up and coming platform for now is Walmart.com, just because they are putting so much money and effort into trying to compete with Amazon that I would really focus on that channel and see if I could scale my business that way. Chances are, if you're doing well on Amazon, you could be for sure competitive on Walmart. I don't see why not. They also have ways to scale on that platform itself with, again, marketing channels through there. I think Criteo, if I'm not mistaken, runs some Walmart marketing. Yeah, that's probably the way I would go. I guess what I would close off with saying is, and I said this at the beginning of the video, is that I would really focus on always trying to build my own platform. It's been my experience that, and again, I'm not saying that building your own platform guarantees anything, because if, let's say, you build your own website, anything can change in Google's policies. If you're relying on something like AdWords, or you're relying on Facebook marketing, anything can change there that could also really affect your business. But more so, I've seen it with third-party marketplaces, specifically in my case with Amazon or eBay. Something changes and you are done. I mean, you are solely